Flight. Ever since the days of our ancient ancestors, humanity has looked to the birds and desired to fly like an eagle and take a dump on people we don't like. Throughout history, thousands of innovators have spent their lives perfecting the art of human flight, so mankind can get stuck between a fat guy and a baby who never shuts up in Coach. And now we're closer than ever to that dream with Riders of Icarus, a game that lets you fly around on giant whales.
Wait, what?
Developed by We Made, creators of the Legend of Mer series, and published by Nexon, the creators of... no, not that game again. Riders of Icarus takes place in a magical world that seems to run on the rule, if it looks like you can ride it, you can! A rule that would really help out my love life. There was a closed beta weekend for this game, and I managed to snag myself a ticket onto the train ride to the skies. So let's check out Riders of Icarus online. First of all, I'm resurrecting my wonderful character, Cletus, from the Adventures in Tree of Savior, who I'm sure he's pretty stoked to get out of, this time as a wizard, one of Riders of Icarus's 5 classes, the other 4 being the Berserker, the Guardian, the Priest, and the Assassin, and they all kind of work exactly how you would expect them to. I mean, there's not a huge amount of variety there, but I guess the variety comes from, like, what happens in-game. But it seems that you can only play as a human in this game, which on the bright side means that there are no tiny girl races, but on the dark side means that there are no Tau. And we start off into our adventure, and we're in prison. Oh, good. But don't worry, we're being rescued by... Wait, is it... Medivh! Medivh, you're in the wrong game! Medivh, you gotta go back to World of Warcraft! The crow here is just one of many Azerothian inspirations that this game takes, but more on that later! Apparently we're supposed to be rescuing a princess or something according to these people that I've never... I don't know, this friggin' princess. But we managed to escape on Pegasi without the princess, and then eventually on a manta ray. Giving this game some points for style. And then we're finally off on our adventure, which immediately feels very familiar for some reason. Enhance. Enhance. Enhance! Oh my god, we've cracked the code. Yes, this game seems to borrow pretty heavily from the World of Warcraft formula. You are constantly chasing the yellow exclamation point over people's heads. You are going on adventures, killing a certain amount of enemies, collecting a certain amount of items from their corpses. It's all very by the numbers up to this point.
Freeze! Flay! Freeze! Young!
Yelling out every single spell you cast is not irritating at all. I mean, there certainly shouldn't be an option to turn that off. Speaking of pretty by the numbers, the combat is also pretty by the numbers for a modern MMORPG combat system. It's actually kind of refreshing to get an MMORPG combat system that lets you tab target in a modern MMO. You actually have a choice when you roll your character between 2 different systems. You can either go with the classic tab targeting or you can go with the reticle targeting system. But at the end of the day, the combat is pretty much the same between the 2 of them. It's very classical MMORPG combat. Like, if you don't have a dude in your reticle that's in range, you don't attack. You know, it's not action combat. But that doesn't matter because it's good. I'm a proponent of the idea that any sort of combat can be interesting so long as it's executed properly, and Riders of Icarus manages to execute classical MMORPG combat properly and very well. Your abilities can generally be used on the move, so you're constantly moving, which meshes really well with the game's mounted aspects. There's a lot of ability interactions and combos that start very early and only get more complex and interesting as the game goes on. There's just a lot to this combat system that makes it actually fun. And you can tell that it was really designed for mounted combat because the movement is there, you're dodging abilities, you're dodging attack, you're setting up blocks, all of that good stuff. It just kind of works. It feels good and satisfying to pull off. And it's actually challenging. Like, if you fuck up and you do stupid crap, you will die pretty quickly, which is good. But so far, I'm literally describing any other MMORPG with good classical combat. What the hell makes Riders of Icarus unique? It is the mounts. Mounts are the core of this game. It's all about finding, training, advancing, and occasionally melting mounts. As I said earlier, this game runs on a rule where basically if it looks like you can ride it, you probably can, but that doesn't mean you could just immediately jump on anything in the game and mount it and ride off into the sunset like some sort of badass. You need to tame your mounts, which means kind of sneaking up behind it, jumping on it, and doing a quick RNG QuickTime event in order to tame it, and then it's your mount. That's cool. Certain types of mounts, though, require things to level up, like items and special conditions to be met before you can actually jump on them and tame them. Because, I mean, if you jumped on the back of a giant spider without something to pacify the giant spider, it would just, like, turn around and fucking eat your face. Your mounts can also level up, learn new abilities, improve. All of them are different. They have different statistics. It's really cool. It can even fly, which is kind of the big draw of the whole game. These mounts can even be made into pets to join you in battle and fight alongside you like your heroic companion, or they can be made into gems to buff your items. What? Sorry about this spot, but Daddy needs 13 mana on his staff, so get into the meat grinder. If I had to describe the system overall, it would be what World of Warcraft's pet battle system should have been. It works really well, and it fits the themes of the game. It fits the combat of the game as well. Having these mounts that you kind of like level up gives you sort of a different progression track. You can go out and find new mounts in different zones. Hell, you can even tame quest bosses and rare cool mounts. This system is kind of like a godsend for those people who just love looking for all of the mounts and pets in the world, because it gives you this huge opportunity to do things with them. And that seems like it's the audience targeted for this game. People who really like to find pets and mounts. Those people with a ridiculous stable of different mounts they found throughout their journeys. Those people who just love to find that rare creature. People who love playing friggin' Pokemon. It's friggin' Crytek MMORPG Pokemon. I mean, the game is far from perfect. I mean, there's this system of item upgrading that I hate, because it requires you to constantly be upgrading items with items that you get from deconstructing other items, or else that item ceases to be competitive with the stuff you upgraded 6 levels ago. I mean, the story hasn't even, like, progressed at all. We still don't know what's going on with that princess, and there was some rumblings about, like, free-to-play system being not super great. But other than that, I mean, the game seems like it's a good time. For people who love collecting mounts in MMORPGs and people who love maybe like leveling stuff up a la Pokemon, this game might be something worth checking out. It's going into open beta in early July, so keep your ear to the ground on it if you'd like, if any of this has kind of enticed you to try it out. Otherwise, you know, it's just a game where you fly around on mounts and fight dudes. It's an MMORPG, that's kind of like what they do. Thank you for taking a look at these first impressions of Riders of Icarus, an MMORPG that shows kind of a bit of promise. Let's just hope everything comes together in the end. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe. This video is brought to you this week by my wonderful Patreon subscribers, specifically Michael Wickham. You're awesome. Thank you. But thank you very much for watching this video. You guys are amazing. You guys just make my friggin' day. Like, this is the best. But you all have a great one. All of these games with the name Icarus in the title, they do know that the story of Icarus does not end well for people who try to fly.